All right, everyone, we are here with a special guest. We are joined by Spencer Pratt. We're here to talk about his new memoir. We got Spencer Pratt, the guy you love to hate, Confessions from a Reality TV Villain. And now we were just talking before you got in here. We're shocked. This is the first time you wrote a book.
We just kind of thought you'd have 5 or 6 books out by now, you know?
It's harder to get a book than people realize. Shout out Simon & Schuster and Gallery. It's a very magical thing to have.
Why was this the right time for you to write the book?
I would have loved to have written this book in high school. The time is God's timing, obviously. But I think there was a closure to my journey. Obviously I'm not that old, and I would like to have a new chapter or a new book of life. But for that, having everything just burn down and start at zero after the whole book is my hustle and trying to build up what I thought was fame and riches that then becomes just a home with your family and hummingbirds and crystals, and then that's gone. So I think it just had, at least I would imagine that was the publisher's perspective, that there was an end to the story.
Mm-hmm. No pun intended, but are you closing the chapter on being known as reality TV villain?
Well, my goal right now, that's why I'm blessed to be on the first Chicks in the Office podcast, is to have a #1 New York Times bestselling book. So that way, I don't, when Gavin Newsom or Karen Bass call me a washed up reality star, I can say, that's #1 bestselling author, washed up reality star.
Right.
There's an asterisk there.
I would like to add some cachet to my brand here.
Yeah. Put that on bestseller.
But no, I will do any reality TV show. Definitely.
I guess it feels sort of repetitive, but you talk about it in your book, just how much you've been referred to as the most hated person on TV at one point. Certainly when we were watching, but I think getting that behind the scenes of really how much you leaned into it really opens our eyes just a little bit more, right? Because when we were watching The Hills when it was on TV, it was like, oh my God, this asshole,
As Gayle King referred to me for the first time, I thought I'd been called everything, but yesterday on CBS she called me douche canoe. And so, I guess.
My God, out loud?
Yeah, out loud on
I just can't imagine those words coming out of Gayle King's mouth.
I know, I had the same reaction. I'm like, she said those words.
So, but in her defense.
Put that on the back of the book.
Yeah.
When they do the updated, whatever that's called, endorsements.
Yeah, all the quotes from people.
Yeah, I think, thank God it was so planned that even when I lost the plot deep into the journey, I could always go back to no, you did this on purpose. So again, when you're Dr. Frankenstein and Frankenstein, and then you're making Dr. Jekyll Hyde, and then, you're just deep in the play pretend. Now it's so cool if you're a method. Timmy Chalamet, he's always such a good ping pong player. I was Timmy Chalamet of being the bad boyfriend.
Right.
So it was very strategic, and there was so much money behind it. I would do it again. If anything, I would have gone harder,
Yeah.
Harder?
Oh my, absolutely.
What
I phoned it in. It got to that. It was just
I don't know if you phoned it in.
Now looking back and knowing I would have just been so much scarier.
Well, it's interesting reading about more of your childhood and earlier years, because now reading that and hearing that, you're like, okay, yeah, maybe, because I know you tell a story in the book where you kind of blackmailed your dad. And you held that over his head for a while. Yeah,
right?
It was kind of extortion. You filmed him without his consent.
It was an audio recording.
Audio recording, and you were like, look, Dad, I got this tape of you, freaking out. I could use this.
Technically, it was legal because he left the voicemail on the audio. So it wasn't. It would have been illegal if I was recording the phone, but he left it on a device. In the old days, before you guys were born, we had machines next to our phones that
don't worry, we had voicemails. We had voicemails.
No,
I had a
phone.
landline. I had to leave a message for my friends.
My parents still have a landline.
I'm just checking. I don't know what demo we're in. Don't want to date myself, but
no, that's
I would go. Do. like the duck
the
phone.
rotary phone.
Yeah.
No, but I just thought it was funny, like hearing those instances. And do you think at the time it seemed like you wrote, oh, your dad was maybe like a little angry, but then it kind of turned to respect?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was like, dang, I got to pay this kid, So, yeah, I think I've always, people that have known me since preschool, I want to say I'm very similar, like my spirit, my soul, it came to earth, and I've been the same brand for a long time.
Yeah. So, I want to go through the thought process and sort of the mental behind, like, all right, I'm going to be this bad boyfriend. Like, I'm going to lean into this. And you say you phoned it in, and you're like, it was easy, but like, seriously, what were you thinking to yourself as this starts going? Because you said, you've kind of been the same person, but how do you separate the two? Because you can get lost in it.
Yeah, I think as you'll, obviously, God willing, if you're listening, you're reading the book or listening to the audio book, is you'll see I started in reality TV by creating and executive producing my own network show on Fox. And that was completely, we made up everything. It was so fake. The idea of anything being real, by the time I got to the Hills, I didn't know you could be in front of a camera and not come up with a plan and make a scene and like what's the payoff and what's our drama. So I think also the key was one of the Hills executive producers was Brody, and our employee on Princess of Malibu. He was our showrunner. So I had already spent 6 months doing make-believe with this guy all day long. So by the time I get to the Hills and he's the executive producer there, I'm like, oh, I got this. And what they don't show on the Hills is one of my favorite parts about Heidi when I met her is Heidi was the biggest player I'd ever met. For real, when I met her, she was writing a book, How to Play the Player. So we were like, like a true chess match of a relationship that never, by the time we got to the Hills, because we started dating in between seasons. So we were doing all these antics, young love type of things. So by the time the Hills started filming, she'd already changed her phone number on me. And so I was like, oh, okay, we're going to this tier. So, it's just to the point where if I gave Heidi roses and I still had in my car, I thought it was such a good idea, use those same roses, give them again to Audrina, because I just saw how good of TV that would be. And then you're also working with the producers, like the famous get out of my car scene. I didn't come up with that. That's just, they're like, you're mad. She won't move in with you. She's already living with me. That's how fake all this stuff is. So, and then you do it for 2 hours. You're sitting in the car doing the same stuff. So then you start really getting annoyed and your energy's like, okay, I want to get out of here. And so it looks like that's going on. But she got back in the car and we went out to dinner. So, it was just pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, I remember exactly where I was when it was revealed that like everything was fake. They pull up the green screen and Kristen and Brody, like they drive away, but then they come back together, they hug. And I was floored. My young self was like, what the hell? I've been lied to. Now, knowing what you know about how fake reality TV can be, is watching reality shows different for you because you could spot when something's fake, what's real? Do you think it's all fake? Like, where do you lie now watching these shows?
So I just did a show that it ended up not being a huge hit, but it was a lot of fun. It was on Hulu called Got to Get Out. And the thing about, even when people I like the term image crafting, and pretty much you're curating your own, you think it's IG story, but you're trying to do it in front of the camera for a reality show. Even when you're doing that, when you're locked in a house for like 2 or 3 weeks and you have other people image crafting, and so even if you're being fake, like real, like if you're a bad person, real stuff comes out. Like on that show, I don't know what I'm legally allowed to say, but 2 people really cracked, and one ends up like breaking out of the house, hitchhiking to like a liquor store. A lot of details they don't show on the show, but she was very locked in until she wasn't. So I always think even if you're fake, these shows can break you down even if you have a game plan. Whereas it didn't for me, because it was like vacation, you know, having 2 kids. It was like not having to do any dad stuff. I was like, haha, this is a spa. But no, I don't have any time to watch reality shows. I love them. And there's real people on reality shows that are authentic. But the problem with most shows now, which I don't judge and good luck, is everyone wants to just get more followers or get brand deals, or they think they're going to be Alex Earl if they pop off on a dating show. So which again, I think those people are entertaining too. So I like fame, whore, energy. So, you know.
And I think it would probably be, although there was a lot of tabloids when you guys were on the hills, there wasn't constant video evidence of everybody doing everything. So you talking about you and Heidi getting into that fight, but then going to get dinner after, it was easier to go and get dinner after because there wasn't everyone, there was paparazzi, but not every single move. Now it's a little...
Right, you'd be spotted. It'd be like you'd be spotted immediately. They'd take your picture at the restaurant, and it'd be all over.
Heidi and Spencer are out to dinner. What do you mean they just got into this fight?
And you bring into a bigger thing that people are like, oh, how did you do that? You didn't care about getting hated? There was no IG Live, TikTok Live, comment sections, IG, no Snapchat, no TikTok. So I didn't feel any of that hate. Even if people hated me, if I went out and they were just like, oh, he's the worst person ever, they're like, can I get a photo?
Yeah.
And I knew they hated me. I was like, you know, that I knew that photo was getting... You know, look at this piece of shit. You know, it's like, I didn't care. I love taking photos.
Yeah, but you don't have to like take it home with you. It wasn't like you were scrolling in bed being like,
So that's the thing. I don't know, like when I say, oh, I would go harder, that's in that era.
Yeah.
The blowback on comment sections now, and, you know, I love positive comments, so I would much rather be the Brody of the hills based off of, you know, now I have positive things. I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, I like that. I like nice people.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be blocking and muting people. So that's a huge, forget even keeping the storyline locked in. That's how I was able to,
you
know.
You wrote a little bit about Adam DeVello in the book.
Devil.
Devil. Yes, of course.
Devil.
Yes. And I will say, I think because watching The Hills and then having that big reveal and then anything I've ever seen him do after, I'm like, well, it's all fake. Like, it's just all, which is crazy because he still does all these massive, massive shows.
He got, when The Hills rebooted, let's be clear, he hadn't done anything in 17 years, and then The Hills got rebooted, and so now his name has some clout. And so, yes.
Does he do that? Doesn't he do the
he's
selling
Sunsets? So he doesn't have, let's be clear, he has one very... Good for him. I'm very excited that, you know, good luck in hell with those riches. So.
But I watched Selling Sunset in the lens and I'm like, well, it's all fake.
Look at
Selling Sunset is so
read
fake.
about what that lady that quit the show had to say about him.
Chriselle was like, Christine.
Christine.
Yeah.
So check out what so it's not just like a Spencer. You'll see her experience
for sure
with him. And, you know, again, there's no jealousy. I don't want a franchise.
Would
with
you have
rebooted
with him again, or like, would you have wanted to do it with someone else?
Thankfully, I mean, I would have. Yes, but they brought in this guy Alex Baskin, who had created Vanderpump. He did Housewives of Beverly Hills, Housewives of Orange County. Now the new Shaw's reboot. So it was like bringing in like a Kobe Bryant GOAT of reality TV. So I was way more pumped. But I would.
Yeah.
One thing I learned about, and you'll see in the book, is burning bridges and relationships. And now, you know, I could work with my enemy. Like, let's get some money.
Yeah. Where do you think the reboot went wrong? Because I know that
how long is this podcast?
I know that we were very excited. And I honestly knew when I asked that question, the reaction would be sort of like that. But I think maybe just from our point of view, it was like maybe casting, maybe, you know, there was just a lot of factors of bringing it back.
You'll read in my book, I've made some big mistakes in my life. And one of the biggest mistakes of my entire life is I got called to meet with the heads of MTV in 2017, I think. And we want to give you your own show. And some epiphany from the depths of stupid hit me. And I was like, let's reboot The Hills. And like, no, we're loving what you're doing on Snapchat with the family and your world and the crystals. I'm like, no. We should reboot The Hills, because the Jersey Shore just came back. And and, you know, in my moronic thought, I was like, oh, you know, bring more clout team up. Maybe they'll be thirsty again because nobody's had any checks and fame. And that's where we start on the journey of what went wrong. It shouldn't have even been rebooted. And then they bring in, with respect, Misha Barton, who was a scripted person, which is the weirdest concept that we're going to take. So I get if we're rebooting Laguna Beach. The Laguna Beach was based off of the Orange County show that she was on. So I kind of get like, that's the weirdest connection ever, but let's put her on.
Right.
But it had nothing to do with The Hills. So they bring in Misha Barton, and we're not getting the Misha Barton that was just like on TMZ in that backyard, jumping off that balcony, clip, which I was I thought maybe we're getting this. And that's why we did not get that version.
No.
And the one we did get, like I went to dinner with her the first night filming, and Heidi and I are drinking our New Zealand white wine, having a good time. And she's like, oh, no. And the second the cameras go down, I swear to God on a Bible, she takes the full glass and just go poof, and makes it like disappear like a magic trick. I was like, why? Like, please do that on the show. This Misha Barton looks fun, So, and it's back to what happened with the whole cast, and it's back to the word it's image crafting. Now this cast
no one wants to
is in the comments section. So the only way you can have a successful reality TV show is if you don't change your personality based off of like what Joe Schmo says to you in Timbuktu or whatever, and like, oh, I can't believe you did that or wore that, and then you change who you are. And these people were doing that. And then we also got cursed with the pandemic. So we're where everyone's getting 10 tests a day. We're wearing masks, taking them off to be like, hey, put the mask back on. We're shutting down. So many things went wrong, but it should have never happened. And, obviously I'm so glad it did. And I needed every one of those dollars, and I'm grateful for them. But I would have been better off for like my career life to having, even if it was just one season of my own show, even if it was canceled, but like had that brand building of my journey and not just back into this dumb. And then the storyline was like, oh, Heidi and Spencer are partying too hard, when this is our only time we have a nanny, Heidi, like where we're going out. Also, everyone thinks we're all dying of COVID. So it's end of the world energy still. Like I like stocked up on liquor because like I thought it was a wrap. So yes, we were partying, and then we have like Ashley, this rando, like, oh my God, I think they have a drinking problem. Like, no, you have a non-drinking problem because this show should be partying. And,
I do remember, now it's all coming back to me how this played out.
It's very triggering.
No, I can tell. And it's all coming back to us. And I mean, you're absolutely correct. Like, you need people on a reality show who really, really don't give a fuck about how they're perceived. I think like Brooke Nader right now is one of those people that like really does not care what people, she's just out there. Her name is out there. She's with everyone.
But just like you'll actually film yourself. There's so many people that do what you're saying is they've changed when they are so excited to sign up for reality TV, and then they change themselves when the cameras are up.
Right. Like Misha Barton, you're right. Scripted television always would never fit reality TV. So yeah, I don't want you to say that it was like the worst move ever, because we were all very excited when it came back.
It made sense. Like Jersey Shore is still on. I'm not wrong. Like, we should have been the new Jersey Shore. And these people off camera, Audrina is entertaining off camera. Justin Bobby is entertaining. When the cameras turn off, these people are up till sunrise in the like random, like when we're in Tahoe, it's all boring, shooting, cameras up. They're all watching the sunrise in random casinos on the sides of we're like, doing indie film level content.
They don't want to get the edit that you and Heidi get, where it looks like you guys are out there, partying, whatever. I don't
think they want to look like anything but like a movie star.
Right.
Yeah, and it's changed so much now too, because I feel like they, the reality TV that we're all nostalgic for, they actually found people that really knew each other and were like, had some sort of real life connection. Now I think they just throw people on a show and they're like, now act like you guys are all best friends. And you're like, I don't know this person really at all.
And then the other hard part about having any reality TV show is we watch people, whether it's real or fake, all day long on our feeds. So it's very challenging to get somebody who can't even watch a full TikTok of somebody's Get Ready With Me to then like watch them get ready on a TV show to go out to a date. So we've been like deprogrammed of like our attention span of what is, I mean, obviously I'll stick into Alex Earl, Get Ready With Me to see if, she says anything about Tom Brady, mistakes and some Get Ready With Me's. But average one, I don't care what palette you're using. I'm out.
Yeah.
No, that is very true. But I mean, you also obviously have a lot about your relationship in the book, and you and Heidi are really a testament to reality TV success, because so many people came for you guys at the time, but look at all the reality TV couples that tried and failed. It's endless, and you guys are still going strong. What do you think it's been for you to kind of have that duality of like, no, we are a very still legit, safe, and compatible couple?
Yeah, for us, it was always such a strong relationship that anything that was portrayed didn't ever happen. So if all that happened, I would be like, yes, we survived. We made it. It's this way. But, when we did a fake fight, we're leaving and going to Blockbuster and getting popcorn and red vines and mixing them together. So our lives and our relationship were so grounded in just normal, everyday type, just good relationships. So it's not like this, how did it happen? Also, I was never planning on being in a relationship or getting married or anything. So one thing I will tell people when they like, oh, how do you make this work? Make sure you find somebody that you actually are in love with, that you want to be with. Because if I didn't love Heidi and she wasn't like an angel, I wouldn't be married. I wouldn't have kids. So I never had to like force it. Like it's meant to be, So when people are like, oh, what are the tricks? I have no relationship guide advice, because I'm not sure you can make a relationship that's not supposed to be. And, that's why there's a lot of divorce and breakups and a lot of these couples that were compared to that don't make it in Hollywood. They maybe weren't supposed to be together, or that was just their time together, and they learned whatever they were going to learn from life from that relationship. But, also Heidi's what people, again, don't know, because we've always been so manipulated and she's like the sweetest angel on earth. So it's very easy to have a successful marriage with somebody who is like a little fairy, So she was like some bitch. I'd be gone, So that is, thankfully that there are not two Spencers in the relationship. Like she's, all I do is complain and whine, and I'm horrible. Yeah. She's great.
What's going on with Heidi's music right now?
We have because I'm so
I kind of think of it as
it's like when we're pregnant. We're pregnant. We're due. She has a new album coming out probably in like 6 weeks, maybe sooner, with like 18 new. Her last album, Heidi Wood, had all the top people that are popping. And then since that one has so much juice, we were able to even tap into even another tier of popping people that unless you're Tate McRae or, literally you're not getting these songs. So,
amazing.
So it's so exciting. That's, again, having your house burned down is horrible. And then you focus on blew Heidi's music up. So many people found it all over the world. And they're still streaming it, and still has every month at least 2 million monthly listeners without new algorithm music. Yeah. So it's incredible. I hope we get to do, she had a lot of performances, I hope, this year during Pride. As mayor of LA, of course, I will require Pride to be Heidi, the host of all Pride events. So people are that's one of my main policies.
Yes. Yeah. We only have a couple more minutes with you, so I don't know if we can dive in as much as we would like about, what future plans you have coming up. But you didn't, like you've said, and I will be more official about it, you did say you're going to run for the mayor of Los Angeles. You are running for the mayor of Los Angeles. It's happening. It's happening. Yes, it's you filed the whole thing. What's your, is it like your 2-minute elevator pitch? What? Why?
Thankfully, LA is so horrible. I don't need a pitch.
Yeah.
Anybody that is in LA knows exactly why I'm running, because the person that's currently the mayor that's running again has destroyed the city, where you can't walk anywhere without stepping in either human poop or a fentanyl needle. You can't go to the park. City's broke. So anybody that is in LA and they're like, why is he running? They're like, oh my God, because anything's better, So even people who wouldn't want to vote for me are like, we're voting for Spencer. You know,
Have you had a lot of people
I
reach
have
out?
friends that are like real ones that would be the first ones that call me up and be like, you know, you're crazy and they'll hit me up and be like, you got to win this, bro. You got to fucking win this. Yo, that's the real litmus test. You're like OG friends but no, it's.
This came from kind of digging into the stuff with
once
the fires,
I found
right?
out, you know, they let 12 people burn alive, 7,000 structures burned to the ground, and then in the last year, the amount of cover-ups, legit, like not conspiracy, paid off, cover up, the shadiest stuff. So people who argue like, oh, he only cares about Palisades. Actually, Palisades is part of Los Angeles. There's no mayor of Palisades. I care because, first off, I don't have a house in Palisades. I would like my kids to be able to grow up where I grew up. As you read in my book, LA was everything to me. It's what made me want to be famous. It's made me want to, my whole life is about the LA dream that's now gone. If you ask anybody, you know, transplants will be on TikTok, be like, LA's back. I'm like, you don't even know what you need a time machine if you think that. So I was hoping somebody else would step up. I don't want to be the mayor of LA. I want to go back to my house and feed hummingbirds and make Snapchats and dance to Taylor Swift. But they burned that life down. And so I don't have a choice because no one stepped up and we were going to be stuck with this Karen Basura for 4 more years. And what she's able to do in 4 years just now, and she's the same plan. There's no like, hey, I'm the worst mayor. I'm going to change it. Let me lean into all these policies and everything. So, I mean, it's crazy. I believe I'm going to win. And I think God burned my town down and my house because he's like, if you read my book, if there's anybody designed to go against the system, and that's the other thing, I'm not a political person. I'm not connected to one political party. Like, I'm a common sense, you know, we pay all this taxes. We should be able to not live in, realistically, there's third world countries that look better than LA, and no shade to third world countries, but for how many billions they're laundering. And that's what another thing I learned from the fire scam, the Fire Aid concert. I learned how they take $100 million and then none of the victims get it. And they put it to all these rich people and their NGOs and they pay themselves bonuses and they put it in their little friend. You know, they did that with $30 billion for homelessness and they've increased more homeless. So people are like, oh, what's your experience? My experience is going to go do the exact opposite of what they're doing that's destroyed the city. So you give me $24 billion, I'm going to clean up the streets. You're not going to be smoking fentanyl. You're not. I'm in no hurry. I got all day. I got traffic last 20 minutes with the first chicks in the office.
I feel like I opened a can of worms being like, hey, we only have a few more minutes left.
We can tell the passion that you have for LA, and I think you could see it in your book as well and here right now. So
so again, I don't want to do this. I have to. And once I am mayor, I think I'm going to end up being mayor for like 8 years because I'm going to be the best mayor ever. And then I'm stuck. And then they're going to make me be the governor because I'm going to be like, oh, you saved LA. Can you please do this to the whole state of California?
Now you're Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And now he also failed too. So I'm not going to be a failure. And then I'll be governor for 8 years. But I think I'll stop it there and just stay in California. Let's not even do the whole president thing. I don't want any of those big issues.
Look, that would be a much longer book than
that's going to be Spencer, the guy you love.
Right.
Yeah, that's the next book. That's the next book.
There you go. Well, guys, the book is available now.
Please buy it.
Buy it, listen to it. The guy you loved to hate. I do like that you made loved past tense.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I don't know, some smart person told me this 20 years ago and I really locked into it. I don't know who they were. It could have been a bartender. And he said, love and hate are on like the same pole. And if you can get people to hate you, it's actually harder to get somebody to hate you than to love you because hate takes more energy than love. So like I've always looked at like, in my redemption arc in my head, I was like, well, if I can get people hate me so much, like one day it shouldn't be that hard to make like easier to just love. So that's been a goal ever since, you know, being hated is not fun. Let's be clear. And I mean, if you read this book, anybody, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go be hated social media person. Don't do it. It's not the ticket. But yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Spencer.
you so much for coming. You're showing off the book here.
Yes.
Go buy it.